So yes. Freestyle session. I have the young CEO. Hashtag Young and Getting It. So I'm not even going to say welcome. I'm not going to do anything. I'm sure he can hear the sound in the back. He's just going to rap along with it like that. With a throwback jersey and a fitted, might blow a bag of Hershey. I kind of put him on the spot, So yeah, later on in the show, we're going to just try and bring that back, make it that happen. But yes, welcome to the show. Very welcome.
Thank you. Charlie, you put me on the spot too much.
I know, right? Because off air, I saw you just, busting the lines and everything. I was like, hey, Charlie, I think I want to do that. But yeah, we'll find a way, another Jay-Z song and make it happen.
Maybe.
Yes. But welcome to YFM. Welcome to the Weekend Rush.
Thank you so much.
Man, how was your weekend? I mean, the weekend is almost over, but how has the Friday into Saturday been for you?
It's been good. It's been chill. Yeah, I didn't go out this weekend. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I was tired, so I spent it with family yesterday. So yeah, it's been good.
It's been good. Charlie, they'll open your mind. Like they will make you think. Like the creative spark will come up. So yes, let's just start with the conversation right now. Definitely, everybody has a childhood, and everybody has a few things that shape them into who they are right now. So how would you define, or how would you say your childhood was?
How was my childhood? I think, growing up, I think I was privileged with, the people around me and the opportunities around me. And, my family as well, just supporting me in what I wanted to do and what I had interest in. And I had a love for writing when I was growing up.
Right.
My nose was always in a book, so I was always reading, I was always writing. And yeah, my parents, my family encouraged me to do that. My teachers at school encouraged me to do that. So I always wanted to be a writer. Growing up, I thought I'd be a journalist at some point. I wanted to write like articles and stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that was a strong foundation for getting into the advertising industry. Because I went into advertising as a copywriter, and I think my background and my interest in writing sort of started all of that. And yeah, the rest is history.
So, at what point did you decide, okay, I want to do journalism, and then at what point did you say, no, I think I'm loving this more, I'm tilting to this side more? At what point?
So I think it was sort of like at the intersection of when the internet became popular, or the internet became a thing, which was around the time that I was in university studying to do journalism. I'm almost giving away my age too much, but this was like...
you're young.
This was like in the late 2000s, so like 2009, 2010 is when the internet started becoming like really popular for our generation, and social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram became a real thing, and it almost took this was around the time that I was graduating from university as well.
Yeah.
And it took my, attention away from reading and writing, and I was spending more time online.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a bit tragic because I stopped reading altogether. I went from reading multiple books a week or a month to not reading anything at all. I was reading, the internet. I was reading websites.
That makes two of us. I just like you. I was an avid reader. Like I just always wanted to read, and just like the influx of internet and websites and all those things. At least you were still reading something. But I was just on the other side, social media side, and just distracted, But yeah, I think that the love for reading should be really, really pursued and pushed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because there's a lot that, we're going to learn from reading and from books as well.
Exactly, yeah.
So guys, if you just tuned in, it's hashtag Young and Getting It. I might say season finale or something, because this is the end of this amazing journey. So what would you say, combining your backgrounds? Yes. We have the modern day chief rocker right here, the godfather of this show. Yeah.
Yo, man, how's everyone doing?
We're doing great.
Has he told you about his days as a rapper?
Oh my goodness.
So you see,
because I was listening. He was busting.
Exactly.
Put any Jay-Z song on.
Exactly. I tried to get him on, but he's promised to do this before he leaves here.
Brownberry, Charlie. Wow.
Yeah.
It's good to see you, man.
Charlie, you too.
Please don't miss any of the details. AC Crew Days, you need to talk about it.
You don't have to talk about that, bro. That was a long time ago.
Really good to see you. I love what you're doing.
Nice
Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Charlie, I had to come in for
definitely. Always welcome. I this is all possible because of him. Yes, I was understudying him and everything.
He actually did our first radio interview in 2006 or something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Many years ago.
Crazy. And here we are today.
Exactly.
So yes, I was asking, because of course you kind of grew up from two different backgrounds, the Ghanaian upbringing and of course, overseas, the Western culture. How has that shaped who you are today, or shaped who you are?
I was lucky enough to get the opportunity to go to America for university. And the plan was always to come back. And I remember my mom had said to me that, we're sending you over there to see what they're doing there that we can do over here, go and learn what sort of things they're doing, what the culture is over there, what opportunities there are over there that we can translate over here and, make something. And that's literally how everything panned out, coming back to start a digital marketing agency. It's something that had never crossed my mind before. I didn't know about the existence of an agency, a marketing agency just for social media. But it was when I went over there, and my first work experience there as well was working for a social media agency, and that's what sort of opened my eye to the idea that this existed or this was possible. And I started thinking, how could this exist in Ghana? What sort of environment is there in Ghana for an agency that only manages social media for brands, individuals, stuff like that. So it was just learning, getting exposure of what was happening over there and sort of bringing it down here and translating it into, local context. So
right. That kind of answers my next question, because I was going to ask what are some of the factors that actually influence your decision, to venture into or pursue marketing and advertising. But I guess, we've got the answer from what you just said. So coming back into Ghana, so around 2011,
2012 actually.
2012.
Yeah, 10 years ago this year.
Right. Wow. I mean, we should have a party. Social Ghana is 10 years.
Will you bring the drinks?
I got you. Yes, I got you. How was this starting? Because of course, even now, the Ghanaian mentality is a bit setback when it comes to introducing something new. And this going, hey, what are you doing? Will it work? Charlie, this won't work. Forget about it. Do something that everybody's doing and all those things. What were some of the challenges that you faced setting up this lovely thing that you thought of?
I mean, at the time it was a foreign concept to so many people here. And I mean, around the world it was new, so that wasn't surprising. But especially in Ghana, sort of like trying to convince people to spend money on Facebook marketing or Twitter marketing, to the average person who is in their 50s or 60s at that time, it's like crazy to them. And walking into businesses and, saying, hey, I want to, work on your social media or improve your social media, and this is how much it's going to cost you. The response is usually like, this is something that my nephew or niece can do. Why should I pay you to come and run my Facebook? And at the time, people thought of social media as a space where you just share funny cat videos and pictures of your baby and your holiday and stuff like that. So the idea of using social media for marketing was a very foreign concept. So I mean, at the time, it was difficult to convince most brands and most businesses that this is an investment that you need to make for your business. But it's gotten much better down the years, and I think today everybody's on social media. Every brand is on social media. It's not as. But I mean, back then it was, sitting down with these people, and I mean it was sort of like in two ways, because on one end there was nobody else doing social media marketing.
Right.
So I think we had first mover advantage over here, where we were lucky enough that the few clients that we were able to convince to get into social media were big clients, because nobody else was speaking to them. Nobody else was doing their social media marketing, So I was working with clients like Latex Foam, Melcom, Azar Paint, Fan Milk, stuff like that. And these were big businesses that, for the most part, most people would be lucky to have an opportunity to work with. And I was a one-man team. I was just, on my own, going door to door, just trying to convince people about the benefits of having a good social media presence. But being in there so early in 2012, when this was barely a thing for anybody, worked out to my advantage, because then I have a portfolio of these big brands that I can take to the next client that I walk into, and they have more trust that we can do something good for them. So
awesome. So of course, nothing great starts easy. A lot of hustle, a lot of walking, and then disappointments and everything. I keep asking this question. Have you watched Kanye's documentary?
I think I've watched it like 3 times.
Awesome. So, like great people go through the hustle. Lots of disappointments. A lot of heartbreaks. Share one of your heartbreaks or your disappointing moments, with a client or something. Like you had put in your all, you knew this client was going to, sign you up and everything, but maybe eventually it happened, but initially they're like, nah, we're not working with you, we're not interested, or something like that.
I think it's always heartbreaking when you get rejected by a client that you really want to work with, And it was more so heartbreaking in the beginning, when I was kind of like new to all of this, and hearing a client say no, or working so hard on a pitch or something like that, and hearing them say no at the end was always, it's something that I had to learn to get used to and not take personally, and just move on to the next one. But I think every time somebody said no was kind of tough for me. I think maybe the one that comes to mind the most was so Fan Milk.
Wow.
Fan Milk was like my dream client from when I started Social Ghana. It was like I want to work with Fan Milk at some point, somehow, one day.
Yeah.
And something, I think 5 years, no, not 5 years, 3 years after I started Social Ghana, so 2015 or 2016, I got the opportunity to pitch for Fan Milk through somebody that I used to work with. His name was Emmanuel Amankwa.
Okay.
He was my former creative director, and he was doing his own thing. And he gave me a call and said, hey, I'm pitching to Fan Milk. I want you to come on board with the pitch, and we'll pitch together. You'll do the digital, and, I will do the strategy. So we worked really hard for weeks and weeks on a pitch for Fan Milk. And I think we did really well. We went to their office, showed it to them, and they seemed blown away by what we had shown them. At the time, I was still a one-man team, so it was a big deal for me. We had like a 2-hour pitch with them, which, went through so many ideas. We answered all the questions. It just seemed to go really well, and they said that they would get back to us. Yeah.
The famous, I'll get back to you.
The famous.
Well, you hear from us.
Yeah, exactly. So, it took a couple of months, and they kept calling and saying, we're still trying to figure things out, we'll let you know, blah, blah, blah. And then it was around the time that they got taken over by Danone, which is an international food business that had bought Fan Milk around 2015 or 2016. So the management changed at the time, the direction that they were going in changed, and they gave us a call and said, hey, we wanted to work with you. We actually signed, we didn't sign a contract, but we shared contracts with each other to say that this is what we want to do moving forward. And they said that, because of the new ownership and, what the new direction that they were going in, they would not be able to work with us. And that was just like heartbreaking, because I'd already planned, sort of things that I wanted to do for them on social media. But then it turned out that a few years later, after that, in 2018, they sort of fell on our laps again. It was, it was crazy, because this time we didn't really work on a pitch or anything, but they were working with my creative director, Kofi Akofi, who I think they'd approached him to say that, hey, we want to work with you to, flesh out some ideas and stuff. And he said, I'm working at this agency, Social Ghana, so, I prefer if we worked together as an agency and you as a client. And they checked out our stuff and they said, this looks great,
Nice.
We love it. And then they were our client.
Wow.
This is like 3 years after the first major heartbreak, and
3 years.
Yeah, and this was a client that really sort of transformed our business, because I think people started to notice the work we were doing with Fan Yogo, Fan Ice, Super Yogo, stuff like that. It was, I'd like to say it was groundbreaking work on social media. The sort of content that was being created was really new to the market over here in terms of what we were doing with pop culture and stuff like that. So that really set us going on the pace that we are now. So everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason. So now, yes, Social Ghana is founded, Social Ghana is working. And so at what point did you decide, okay, I need a team, I need to start putting people together and all those things?
It's an interesting story, because I sort of came up with the team accidentally, almost. I mean, so for the first maybe 2 years of running Social Ghana, I was doing it by myself, pretty much at home in my bedroom, just working on different brand pages, different campaigns by myself. And for me, I was cool. I had 5-6 clients. I was running them, and it was coming naturally to me as well. And then my dad was like, he thinks I should get some experience at an ad agency. And at the time, I don't know, I felt like I didn't need that. I felt like,
Because, you had the clients, everything was just going
I'm like, I'm working with latex foam and, Azar paint and, things like that. And why should I stop doing this and go and get work experience somewhere, make that my 9 to 5.
So at this point, when you had about the 5-6 clients, you were doing social media marketing, and you were creating ideas on how they could push their stuff on social media.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was saying that, my dad was saying that, as much as you feel like you've got everything going on and everything is on track, you're still new to the working environment. You're still new to the marketing industry. You, as much as you think you may not know the best way to put a pitch together, put a strategy together, or deal with different issues that happen with clients when a client wants to leave you, or when a client's not happy with how you're doing. So he recommended that I start working somewhere. So I got a job at an ad agency called Publicis, and we sort of came to an agreement. It was like a big back and forth. I was like, no, I don't think I need this, and he was like, just do it. So we came to a consensus that I do this for 3 months and see how it goes. If I don't think I'm learning from it, or if I don't feel like it's doing anything for me, then I can walk away and go back to Social Ghana full time. So I said, cool, I'll do this for 3 months, just make him happy, and then I'll quit. I ended up staying there for 3 years.
Wow.
Because it was the most it was the most insightful experience of my life. I just everything I thought I knew about marketing or about about running an agency was nothing. I didn't know anything. I didn't know half of what I needed to do, what sort of team that I needed. So in my mind, I was just going to do this as a one-man team forever.
Yeah.
I'll just do this. Social Ghana is just me, just running these campaigns from wherever. But then working at the agency, I realized that you need an account management team. You need a creative team. You need a design team. You need a digital strategy team. You need a media buying team. You need a production team. These were things that I was learning as I was going along. So I stayed there for 3 years, but I couldn't stop Social Ghana. So I was working there full-time and doing Social Ghana part-time. And then around the same time, my sister, Nanaba, was sort of like in between jobs. She had just left her previous job and she was on the market looking for a new job. So I said to her, while you are job hunting, why don't you come on board and do some account management work for me? So when I'm at work, when I'm in the office and I'm not able to go and see my clients, you can step in, meet them on my behalf, take notes, whatever. And at the end of the day, we'll sit down and figure out what the client wants or what we need to do, blah, blah, blah. So she was sort of like my first employee, but it was never meant to be really a permanent thing. It was just like, before you find your new job, you can just do this for me.
Let's do this.
And I think this was something like 8 years ago, and she's still with us now.
Nice.
And from there, after that, we got at that time it was, so then I left my job. I quit the ad agency.
That must have been a blow, though.
Yeah, it was bittersweet because I learned a lot there. I made a lot of friends there. I loved the campaigns and the clients I was working on. But at the same time, I was excited to finally put all of my energy and effort into Social Ghana full time. Right. And at the time, again, going back to building a team, I didn't really know how to, and I didn't think I was ready to go on the market and hire people full time for this. So then I was still looking for, similar to how it worked out with my sister, I was looking for people in my circles or people around me that I felt could come on board and help me move into the direction that I was trying to move in. And then I got 2 more people on board. One of them was Katsina, who is pretty much a very close family friend that I grew up with. And at the time, she had just finished university, and she had done an internship at the UN where she was doing social media marketing. So I was like, this is perfect. So I asked her, do you want to join, this little thing that I'm doing? And she said yes. And then another guy that I grew up with, his name is Sammy Ajibong. He had just moved back to Ghana. He was in the UK, and he was sort of like finding his feet in Ghana.
I went to the same school with Samuel.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. Alpha Beta.
Was he a bad boy?
Well, I mean, he was like my senior 2-3 years ahead, but yeah, the typical young, vibrant, and of course, the history, Alpha Beta and everything. So yeah, I mean, he was a cool kid.
Yeah. He was, and he sort of like was trying to find his feet in Ghana, and we were really close, hanging out together, stuff like that. And he had a natural interest in what I was doing as well. He was always asking me about the work and about my clients, and giving me advice and giving me tips on working with some of these clients. And one day on a night out, I said, hey, do you want to join me at one of these meetings, and let's see. And the synergy was good. The chemistry that we had in the client meeting was good, and I said, would you like to join this team full time? And he said yes. So then I had a team of 4 people that I knew very closely that was helping me to grow the business. And then we decided together as a team that we need a graphic designer, we need a community manager to manage the social media pages, and that's how the team started to grow.
To form and grow.
And eventually, right now, we're a team of about 24, 25 people.
Wow. Growth. So Little Bed has it that you like commercial breaks. You like, interludes and stuff like that. So let's go for one spot of music. Definitely a Jigger theme. And then we come back and finalize the interview. If you just tuned in, this is the Weekend Rush Sunday Special Edition. Hashtag Young and Getting It. I have the CEO of Social Ghana, Mr. Young for Hackman. With the run things for this session. We'll be right back. How is a typical day in the office like?
There's no typical day in the office.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like, and I think that's a cool thing. That's one of the cool things about working there. You just don't know what you're going to get on a particular day. Right. You don't know who's going to walk in. You don't know which clients are going to walk in and say, you know, we want to work with you. You don't know what brainstorm or campaign we're going to have to be working on. For the most part, we have structure. You know, we have a timetable of, you know, campaigns and meetings and things that, you know, we stick to. But outside of that, it can be very spontaneous and really fun as well. It's a pretty young office.
Yeah,
I'm the oldest person in the office, which, you know, they like to remind me about as much as possible.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you this question. I mean, some countries, Spain and other European countries, have practiced or trialed the 4-day working experience. And, you know, it's working, you know, output, productivity, and everything is top notch. How is the system? Are you following the regular Monday to Friday, 8 or 9 to 5, you know, or it's just, come do your work, get the results, and then you move out?
You're putting pressure on me because I know some of my staff are listening, and you know, some of them are pushing for a 4-day working week.
Wow.
No, I mean, so we work 5 days a week.
Yeah.
We have a work from home day, 1 day a week.
Okay.
On Wednesdays.
Which is cool.
It's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. I've heard some of my staff calling it our holiday. I'm like, it's supposed to be working from home.
Yeah.
Not supposed to be, you know, chilling.
Was it influenced by the COVID, or that's actually the framework of?
No, it was influenced by COVID. But even after, you know, after most people have gone back to full-time working, we decided to stick with, you know, 1 day a week in which people can work from home. And, you know, I mean, we did find that it was quite, I think it was helpful for people. People do like that change in environment where they're at home and they're able to just sit down and focus and, you know, get stuff done. But yeah, I mean, who knows? One day, I mean, I see what's happening around the world in some places where, you know, they're saying that we don't actually need a 5-day working week.
Exactly.
I don't know how that will work in Ghana. You know, imagine your client calls you and you're like, "Today is our weekend."
Our weekend. I mean, those are exceptions, you know. And I think you, as you're a change person or you lead change, maybe you could try it in Ghana and then do the results and things and send it to the top, and then, you know, it might come. I mean, some of us, we can't do this from home, you know, even if it's actually possible, because I've listened to a lot of BBC interviews and everything from home and all those things. But yes, it's talking about Ghana Twitter, you know, I love the concept on there. And then how did that idea actually come to make business or mean business when, you know, the Twitter synergy came through?
Yeah, so, I mean, Ghana Twitter is a page that I run on Instagram. The handle is @Ghana Twitter, and it's literally a page that compiles all the best and the funniest tweets from Ghana Twitter on the Twitter platform. I started it maybe 4 years ago, I think, and it just came about because, you know, when I would use Twitter, I was cracking up all the time. There were just so many funny and witty and interesting tweets being tweeted by Ghanaians on Twitter, and it just made me realize that we have a lot of, you know, talent in this country. It's just people that you just don't know how their brains work. And so what I was doing was that I was sharing, like, I was taking screenshots and sharing them with my friends, because most of my friends are not on Twitter. So I take a screenshot and I'll share it in my different groups on WhatsApp with different friends, and I was sending it to like maybe 8, 9, 10 people at a time, you know, the same screenshot. And then I got tired of doing that, so I told them that I'm going to set up an Instagram page and I'm going to start putting the screenshots on there. So why don't you guys follow the page so that you can all see it when, you know, I'm sharing something. So it was initially just meant to be a page for just, you know, my close friends that I wanted to share funny stuff from Twitter with. So I had maybe 12 or 13 followers at the start. And then what started to happen was that these guys would, you know, forward it to their friends on Instagram, or they would share it to their story. And then the followers started growing up, and then it was like 100 followers, 500 followers, 1,000 followers. And yeah, I mean, basically all it's been for the last 4 years has been anytime I come across something funny on Twitter, I'm like, this needs to go on the Instagram page.
Yeah.
And, you know, right now there's about 75,000 followers on there. And yeah, I think it's the best page on Instagram.
Definitely the best. I mean, that's how I got to know of Social Ghana, because I followed Ghana Twitter, and then I read your bio and it says Social Ghana, and I was like, okay, let me just follow. And then I think I was on the Fat Milk push. Like, I just saw, you know, the cool stuff that you guys did.
Right.
And, you know, one thing led to another, and I just started following Social Ghana as well. We're hard pressed with time. I wish we could continue. But, I mean, Social Ghana, Ghana Twitter, and all the other things that you do.
Yeah, that's actually how Twitter found us, the same way that you just described, that you found Social Ghana through Ghana Twitter.
Okay.
It was crazy because at the end of last year, somebody at Twitter stumbled across the Ghana Twitter page, and they slid into the DMs to just say, this is, at first I thought it was trouble. I thought they were going to say, why are you sharing intellectual property on here? But, you know, they said this stuff looks great, and it's in line with the campaign that we've been thinking of running in Ghana to launch our entry into Ghana. And yeah, you know, she said, so it turned out that she was the marketing director at Twitter. She was based in the UK, and she asked to get on a call just to get an understanding of what Ghana Twitter was and who was running Ghana Twitter, and the sort of like how we came up with the tweets that we were selecting. And yeah, the same day we had a call, and interestingly enough, she had heard about Social Ghana already from a previous conversation weeks before that. So I told her that, you know,
you're the same guys.
Yeah, we're the same guys. And then she was like, okay, well, this means that the stars are aligning somehow.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that what they wanted to do was pretty much what the concept of Ghana Twitter was. You know, they wanted to put up billboards around Accra that featured some of the most interesting or the funniest or the best tweets from Ghana Twitter. Because the idea was that they wanted people, you know, they've launched in Ghana. They know that there's not as many people on Twitter in Ghana as there are on Instagram, on Facebook. So they said that, you know, we want to do a billboard campaign where people can see the sort of conversations that are happening on Twitter, and hopefully that will, you know, encourage them to download the app and to want to create an account and join those conversations. So yeah, so then I got the team together, and we had a little internal thinking. Then we got on a call with the Twitter team based in the US and based in the UK, and we basically said that, you know, this is how we want to do it. We want to find the most relevant tweets, the most locally relevant tweets. We want to find the most relatable tweets. It was important to find tweets that people could see and feel like, they can relate. They can relate to that.
And stuff like
exactly. That. So yeah, this was November last year, and we spent pretty much 6 weeks just going through Twitter and just looking for tweets, looking for hundreds and hundreds of tweets, sitting around in our conference room, printing out the tweets and putting them up on the windows, on the walls, and yeah, just selecting. At the end of the day, we had to select, I think it was 26 tweets or something, which was really difficult from almost 1,000 tweets that we had gone through. And we ended up putting those, after going back and forth to Twitter, putting them on billboards around Accra and Tema as well.
I saw that.
Yeah, so that was a really interesting
powerful one. We have just like 2 minutes to wrap up right here. Quick one, I just want you to, you know, some motivation advice to any young guy, any young lady who's got this wicked idea, brilliant idea, but is just skeptical, and, you know, the regular Ghanaian system culture, Charlie, you know, go far, you go far, that kind of thing. Just something, just a few words to that person right now.
I mean, yeah, I mean, just from my own personal experience, it's easy for people to not understand what you're trying to do, or understand your idea or your vision, you know. And I think it's also part of Ghanaian culture, when they hear something that they don't understand or they don't see, it's like, this thing will go work, or it's always like the why it won't work, or the but, you know. But I think it's also important to stick to what you believe in, what you believe is true, what you believe is possible. And I really think that Ghana has the best environment for that sort of thinking as well. So just try and think of something that is different, something that isn't normal, something that maybe exists somewhere else but doesn't exist in Ghana yet, and just go into it. And I also feel like this generation is doing a great job of doing that as well. And what you're seeing around town in Accra is an example of that. You know, people are doing things like paint nights, which was not a thing 10 years ago. You know, people, they've just opened up a bowling alley and you know, a trampoline spot, you know, just
never
down
heard
the
of,
road.
never
And
seen.
And even when that happened, you saw the noise on Twitter. People were saying that why would somebody pay 100 cedis to go and jump on a trampoline? And that's just the typical mentality. And if you let that hold you back,
Bibini.
Charlie,
that's
if you let that hold you back, you'll never go anywhere. If you go past that place right now, it's packed every single day.
Really packed.
So if you believe in something, if it sounds good in your head, it probably sounds good in other people's heads too.
Definitely.
So go ahead and make those dreams come true.
Go ahead and make those dreams come true. So the full conversation will be on our Instagram, Facebook pages as well. There's something actually going to come out of this interview, so do stay tuned. Follow at Y179 FM for more updates on this one. It's checkout time for us right here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all the guests, or thank you to all the guests who came through yesterday and today.